up, everybody? Gary Simon here of DesignCourse. Today is yet another UI UX review in live format, and we are going to do just the typical run-of-the-mill UI UX stream. Now, if you're new to this, basically what you do, there's instructions here in the YouTube description where you will be able to find out how to submit your design. Here's the thing though, there's already so many designs because I announce this usually an hour beforehand, or sometimes a little bit sooner than that, before the stream begins, and people already submitted a bunch of designs for me to review in the Discord server. And I just take a look at the designs and I give you my opinions. Do you not hear me? Shoot. Well, that sucks. There we go. All right, so Unreal. Let's restart that. I'm trying some new stuff out and I'm completely jacking it all up. But yes, live UI UX review today, just a standard one. Instructions for how to submit are in the description below. Although there's a lot already here, so I probably won't get to yours because I announced this an hour earlier and people have already submitted. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good now in terms of the mic volume. Sorry about that. So I did create a snazzy little promo video because I'm usually doing this on the fly just to make my life a little bit easier. So let's cut to that and hope it works. 4 or 5, up to 8 and beyond. No, 4 or 5, it didn't work. Up to Go 8 back. And beyond. Restart. All right, time to take a break from the reviews. Now, chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably want to be a better designer. And if that's the case, how much do you really want it? Because at DesignCourse.com, I've created a UI UX course that will help you go from designing layouts that I might rate a 4 or 5 up to 8 and beyond. But more important than that, as a better designer, this means that you can land higher paying clients and jobs. This course includes over 16 hours of video, 40 interactive UI design tests, and even mentorship where I personally take a look at your work that you submit, I review it, and many times I also revise it, providing you with great feedback to help you become a better designer. Now, during this stream only, you can use the coupon code STREAM22 at checkout to get 22% off. Now, you better hurry up because at the end of this stream, I will deactivate this coupon. All right, let's get back to it. Awesome. Okay, hopefully you all heard that. Did that ad come through clear? You heard the video, the audio and everything. How can you hear a video? So let's get started. Speakupwithdebbie.com. Very interesting domain. Let's see what Debbie has to say. All right. All right. So I am reading the text or the chat for a second there. All right. Speak up. All right. I like the navigation. This is all solid. No issues there. Learn effective communication skills. Description is looking pretty good as well. Call to action, secondary call to action, all styled quite well, I have to say. So pretty good. Well, I will say the logo is a little strange. It feels like a clip art logo. So it's the one thing that seems kind of out of place here, but that could probably be improved. Sub headline little there, title, I like that. Good visual hierarchy between the two. Good card designs. So don't rely on placeholder values. Use an actual label there, by the way, or at least a floating label. This is really good. I like the color scheme. What font is that? It is Poppins. Oops. There we go. Yeah, this is good. Solid design, I have to say. Let's check out responsiveness. Looks pretty solid. All right, let's do a rating. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. The only critique I really have for the most part is just that logo. It feels like clip art. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Let me know in the chat what y'all think this person should get for a rating. We're starting it off pretty solid. So for what this is, for what this has going, I'm gonna have to give this one upper 8s for sure. Yeah, it's really, I have no issues with this. Very little issues rather. So upper 8s, very solid. All right, next up is Yusuf. It's not finished yet, but I need your opinion and ideas. All righty, let's do it. We make your best moments immortal. Lorem ipsum. I will say this cursor follow thing, being a high contrast white, it gets in the way a little bit. So you can still have that, you know, the overall circle. I would make that low contrast. Outside of that, I would say the type needs a little bit of work here. You're real close with this description, this lorem ipsum dummy text, and I feel like there needs to be more white space. I would even probably scale this down just a bit more and adjust that. See what you're trying to do. This is strange right here because it's kind of hard to read and everything's behind the type. So I might want to rethink that section. Yeah, and see like this right here, if you're on like a tablet, it would look a little bit strange in my opinion. All right, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What do y'all think you should get? Ankit, gosh, thank you very much. But if you read the YouTube description, no longer are super chats. They don't get you to the very beginning of the queue. So they're just for appreciation only. So hopefully you understand that. And hopefully you got in early enough for your submissions. So for this one, I'm going to give this, you know, it has a lot of potential. We have a locomotive scroll happening here. But I think it definitely needs some work. So I'd probably give this one. Also, what is that? Home, booking, work, home, work, booking, team, about. You have 2 navigations saying the same thing. Get rid of this hamburger menu. That makes no sense. That should only be on mobile if you don't have enough room to place these in terms of width. So I'm going to give this one probably like a 6.7 or so, something like that. Next up is what can I improve? This is from a person called Sweet. All right. Building nice web experiences. All righty. So we can see we have a sort of like a something's based on the mouse position. It's just kind of like a floating orb, so to speak. Let's see here. I don't like the leading, which is the line height on this type, especially how it's placed in relation to the white space with the call to action here. I think you should bring these 2 lines closer together and then push this one further down, not vice versa. Coming outside of this, a little bit weird alignment. You have these elements all left aligned, these type-based elements, and then you have center aligned right underneath these icons. So choose one or the other. I would say on desktop, left align it. I do like the I do like these. My bearded dragon's going crazy over there. It seems like every time I live stream, it's like glass surfing. Anyway, so yeah, these are nice little micro interactions. No problem with these. Very good. Explicit labels, that's good. All right, so some good things happening here. This is just a little bit bland in my opinion, and the orb, that really doesn't say anything to me. I like something a little bit more relevant. So 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, what do y'all think this person should get for a rating? Let me know in the comments. So for this one, I'm probably going to rate this a Let me think. I'll rate this one again, it's gonna be like a 6.5 or so. Seems like you guys are rating it a little bit higher. All right, next up. Dashboard, do view it. All right, let's see. Let's take a look at this Behance design. All right, coming up. You know, I have Instagram, but I never got around to like posting regularly on it, so it's not even up to date. All right, so dashboard design. All righty. All right, so I can tell you right now, this perspective is off. Like this monitor it's just not placed in there correctly or in a way that makes sense. The perspective is, like I said, it's off, so it looks a little strange. All right, so I probably just omit that and just put this over to the left. You can even cut off part of the design and like show like just this portion. Looking at the colors and everything, I'm gonna say, like for instance, these cards where it says 3D art and current price, you know, they're the same color of font. The title is only just slightly larger than current price, so that's an issue of typographic visual hierarchy. You want to make it a little bit larger or make it white, and then that way you create that distinction between these two different pieces of type. Everything else looks kind of solid, although look at this dashboard link. You have this little hover state where the background changes, and then dashboard is not centered in that vertically. And then there's a little bit of space underneath the icon, and it's pushed up to the top. Things are misaligned. You want to fix that. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. There's potential there, but yeah, definitely want to improve a couple of those things I mentioned. It's not a full-on design, so I'm not going to worry about a rating right now. Next up, Tab Nation. I use auto hotkey, by the way, for my video stuff. All right, that's what auto hotkey, AHK, is an acronym for. All right, blah, 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 blah. All right, just coming down here. So it feels like if this is your news section, it needs structured these cards a little bit better. And what's crazy is like there's a URL here, but I can't click it. I would have to copy it. Same thing here. I would have to copy this as well and paste it. So you want to make your links clickable. And it seems like this is your news. It's just like little posts or comment posts. Looks like a guest post, a guest book sort of thing from back in the late 90s or whatever. Typically news, like you'd have news stories like blog posts that you click on and you have like a, so it's a little strange having it like this in this manner. Emails your script to showcase on your website or in a video. But what's strange is like, okay, so I want to find the scripts. Why are you showing me news? Like I want to see the actual scripts. There should be like cards having your latest scripts here, or your latest videos. I'm not even sure if these are just reviews. So I'm also kind of AHK scripts and videos uploaded all the time just for you, but then there's like none of them. So maybe it's because it's a work in progress or something, but definitely a remedy to that as well. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Let me know you all think what this one should get. I would definitely improve the logo. It just, you know, kind of seems just random and just underlined. I mean, I think it definitely could be improved as well. Also, it's not typical to stack your logo in your navigation on desktop like this. Usually this is left line over here, made smaller, and especially being that it's sticky, it is taking quite a bit of space because you have 2 rows there essentially. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and rate this one probably with just, you know, it's gonna be in the 6s. I mean, your contrast is working. There's no contrast issues. The color is pretty decent. So yeah, but still, I think it needs work. Probably around, you know, like a 6.4 or so, something like that. Next up, crypto design landing page. I cannot stand that font, I'll be honest with you, for that headline that I see right there. Yeah, this font right here, which is Russo 1, it just seems cheesy to me. Like it belongs on like a sci-fi game or something like that. So I would probably change this font out. You also have some issues with your leading. Your line height is a little bit too close in this description right here. Pretty cool sort of illustration here, but your scale is also off here, because look how close this is coming into contact nearly with this illustration. So you want things to be a little bit more separated with more white space all around. Your sign up call to action is almost hidden. It's strange to have a green underline but a black text on an almost black or a very dark blue background. So I would revert that or invert that, so that, you know, whatever your primary color is, which I'm not even sure what that is. You have this nice color here, which is teal or / turquoise, but then you have green over here, and then you have orange over here. Your colors are all over the place on this. So you want to simplify as much as possible. Stick to like this color right here, because it works well with your blue background. It's a adjacent hue to blue. Then you have teal, which is kind of between green and blue. So I would use that for this background color here. In fact, let me just do this real quick for you, because we are in Figma, and I can go ahead and edit this real quickly.
I didn't understand.
Oh, be quiet. My phone just randomly starts listening to me. I just threw it off. Unreal. Always listening to me, trying to collect price on some government data server, all the horrible things I say. All right. So, like this button right here, let's ungroup that. We're going to take this and we're going to change it here to this color, and then make this sign up text just black and bold. All right, there we go. Already 1,000,000 times better. We're also going to get rid of that drop shadow thing there. Let's just put 0% on that. Well, what the hell? Where is it at? 0%. There we go. Now that looks a lot better. Your logo right here, like this situation, it's an image, unfortunately, so I can't edit it. I wish I could change the color. For now, I'm just going to delete it. CoinX, there we go. A lot better, in my opinion. Let's change the font. You know, I mean, we could do, I'm not saying you have to use Poppins, but I know it's going to look a lot better, like 1,000,000 times better. So we're going to take the leading. We're probably going to change the font size as well to something a little bit smaller. There we go. All right. And then we'll do Poppins as well here. And then we'll change this to maybe like 20 or maybe 22 or 24. Here, let's, for some reason you put a line break right here. Let's take these and move them down. Move this slightly up. So comparing just this top part right here to this, I think we've made a big improvement and we simplified things a lot more. Now, of course, I would change these colors. There's just too many colors. You're not Google. I would change that as well. But hopefully that refactor helped you out in that regard. All right, continuing on. Crypto, okay, so this is the next one. Let's open this. All right, best watches ever. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Oh my God, that's a big claim. Watchy. All right. Oops. All right, something I don't like is paragraphs with slightly extended tracking, which is letter spacing. I can see that this slightly extended, and it makes it hard to read. Pretty much 99% of the time or more, you just want to stick with the standard default font tracking that's been placed for that font. not this extended stuff right here. It makes it hard to read. Also, strange alignment. Both of these elements are left aligned, and then you have this right aligned. It's strange. So I would just left align this Shop Now button. Same thing with the tracking here. That could be improved a lot. Also, if you have two paragraphs like this where it says "it turns out," there's no more text here, put an actual white space, like a line break between them, because it looks like too much of a wall of text. So separate them. All right, so for this one, I'll probably rate this, again, it's going to be in the 6s somewhere, I think. That's pretty fair. All right, next up is Black Storm. Alrighty. I'm going to modify this one as well. 1 second. All right. So first off, this is not good color contrast. This codex against the blue. I would say it would make sense to make that white. Look how much better that looks, and it stands out way better if you compare it with this codex logo being white versus it being pink over here. So I would definitely make that color. Home projects contact. I can tell you right now, if we get a ruler out, Shift R, guess what? They're not lined up properly. This is slightly off by a good amount, for enough for me to notice it off the bat. So you want to make sure everything is lined up properly where it should be. I'm also not even sure about I think maybe it helped frame the layout a little bit more if you did something like this. Of course, if you did that, why can't I select the home button? What the hell is happening? Let's make this white. For some reason, you have opacity on it. Although, what in the hell is happening? I'm trying to figure out why. You got some strange situations occurring. It says it's white and it's 100% opacity, but it is showing up as gray. Is it like... There we go. Okay. Maybe that was the issue. Now, I would probably take this image and we'll... let's say it says fill 44%. Let's adjust this. There we go. That way we really increase the contrast more by making it darker. This has to come down. This right here, I would just make white. I mean, we could do other things too. For instance, maybe take both of these and we'll extend them out. Although what is happening, I tell you, people do the strangest things. I don't understand. I'm trying to move this one out. What is happening? Oh, it's because of this. All right, so let's... Jesus. I don't know what this person's done with their layer structures, but it's just all over the place. What is this rectangle for? And why can't I bring it out? All right, so now we'll take this. And his projects type is way too small. Like it's like 13. Let's get that beefed up there. All right, then that's better. All right, maybe we could take this all the way out. Maybe make it a little bit larger. Maybe regular. All right. So I kind of like that because we have more white space on the left and also restructured. Notice the tiny amount of white space that's placed between these elements right here. And we're able to kind of, separate them out more with each other. Now this is too much just bright pink in your face. I would definitely change this and rethink. Also, if these are supposed to be links, you're not indicating at all whether they are. Either underline them, put an icon next to them, put them in button form, or something like that. All right, so we're not going to bother with a rating for that one. I just want to keep moving on to get through these as much as possible. Let's see here. Who is next? All righty then. What my thought here is, oh my God, this is bland. You never want to use just straight up grayscale, especially when you're mid-tone grayscale. Like going monochromatic, like, you know, with almost white and almost like dark or black or whatever, that's fine. But this, notice how everything is just kind of grayscale, and then you worked in this right here, this green color on top of the gray. So whenever you have like a mid-gray background and you have color on top of it, it does not look very good. So you want to rethink this approach, especially in terms of the color, as much as possible. And also right aligning this vertical sidebar navigation for the different planets or whatever. Not the right approach either, because typically people are going to be looking and reading from left to right. So you take this navigation over here and put it to the left. Cool little floating SVG things here. But I think you just need to work on contrasting your colors a bit more. Also, some of this green, it doesn't work well with these other backgrounds, I would say. But especially this Mercury being grayscale, maybe that has something to do with the actual planet itself and what it looks like. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't start it off with this one at least. All right. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. We'll do a rating for this one. Cool sort of little navigation. I think it just gets lost over here. Put this to the left, I would say. Let's see what they've done for the responsive nature. So it's kind of hidden all the way at the bottom. Put it at the top and make it a sticky nav. All right, so for what this is, I'm probably going to give this one a rating of probably like a 5.8 or so. I think that is fair. All right, time to take a break from the reviews. Now, chances are if you're watching this video, you probably want to be a better designer. And if that's the case, how much do you really want it? Because at DesignCourse.com, I've created a UI UX course that will help you go from designing layouts that I might rate a 4 or 5 up to 8 and beyond. But more important than that, as a better designer, this means that you can land higher paying clients and jobs. This course includes over 16 hours of video, 40 interactive UI design tests, and even mentorship where I personally take a look at your work that you submit, I review it, and many times I also revise it, providing you with great feedback to help you become a better designer. Now, during this stream only, you can use the coupon code STREAM22 at checkout to get 22% off. Now, you better hurry up because at the end of this stream, I will deactivate this coupon. All right, let's get back to it. All right, time to take a break from the review. Wrong one. Okay, so continuing on after that little brief ad for you all to join my website, let's do, yeah, this one is next, I believe. Let me wait for it to load. Okay, it's not inappropriate or anybody trolling me. That's why I always kind of push it off to the other side of the screen before it loads. All right, so a little bit of issues with the typography. Again, what I'll do is modify this real quick. We'll do a live review. I kind of like doing that. Okay, we got a lot happening here. I'm trying to find out. It was that one right there. All right, so we'll just take this one. We'll create a new design file real quick. All right, we'll push that over here. All right, so the typography between these 3 elements needs work. So let's ungroup these and ungroup these. I like how a lot of people just love their layer groups. Maybe something like that. We'll take this down. Maybe right around 21 or 22 works well for that. And seriously, if you're not going to have anything to the right of this, either make this even larger font size, or you could just center everything. So we take these elements, center, center, center the type as well. Now this button, this contact me button, doesn't really work well in my opinion for this design. What I would do is change up that color. So we could go like this. I think that works, and I wouldn't underline that button here. I think that definitely doesn't work. So that works better in my opinion. So this could work here. I think it's a lot better, and you could even make the type white. All right. But I do kind of like left lining it, especially on mobile here, or not mobile, but desktop. Let's left line this back. And I think if we look at just this typographic portion in the hero section, I've definitely improved it in terms of the visual hierarchy between these three elements. There's a clear distinction between the size and the type, and it makes it just overall easier to read. All right. Also, I would say this, looking at these, you're not situating this type in a manner that makes good sense, because the alignment is all off. This one's over here, this one's pushed over here, this one's pushed over here, this one's over here. So you want to make sure things are aligned very consistently on the same columns and rows, especially with repeatable patterns like this, or that are like in cards that are meant to be kind of designed in the same manner. All right, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What do y'all think this person should get for this design right here? Yeah, this is, you could leave the text white. I would probably also want to make this a little bit darker. That way you have better contrast. I'm going to go ahead and give this a rating as it is. Probably like, you know, like a mid 6 or so. Or a lower 6. All right. Let's close that out. Next up, I think it's this one. Got another Figma document. All right, we got some issues with it, I believe. By the way, that noise is my automatic misting system for my Hatchling Asian water monitor. Well, I'm not sure if you can hear that buzzing right now. All right, so let's just hit play. Okay, so we have little micro interactions. This is a really bold, in-your-face type. So I build user interfaces that align well with your business goals and create excellent conversion. All right, so I actually like the headline, the ad copy that is that you're using here. You know what I'd like to see? I would like to see this be white. I can tell it's gray. It's a very light gray. But so far to this point, everything's pretty much monochromatic. But then having this gray, I think it would just really improve it much more if we were to make that white. And we'll see if that's the case if we do a quick test here. All right, so we'll take this and just make it white. Yeah. Look how much the content at that point just stands out better versus this mid gray here. And it's consistent more, you know, overall, you know, based on just what's been established up here with the high contrast. Looking at these cards, pretty solid looking. Obviously they're not finished. Good section right here. Again, I would make this white. If I can grab it. There we go. All right, overall pretty nice, modern, simplistic. Just a couple issues. So what do you think this person should get? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I will be streaming for about 20 more minutes. Somebody said they look at me like a father figure. Any advice for aspiring web designers in Egypt? Yes, Egypt is in the parity pricing program at DesignCourse.com. Therefore, you should join my course and get, you know, a nice big old discount. All right, so for this, it has a lot of potential. I don't like this gray, so it's also unfinished. So I'll give it like a 7.3. I think it's pretty solid. All right, next up. Cellaradise. I'm not even, how do you say that? All right, let's see here. Is that Poppins again? Yes, it is. All right. Demo, user guide support, get the full version, clean, responsive, and accessible WooCommerce theme. It's pretty solid. I think there's a little bit too much white space here at the top. There's, maybe not. It does look like, I think it should be pushed up though, just a bit more. And then you could start your next section, or get it to be, you know, starting like up here. I have 2 kids, the 2 daughters, 9 and 12 years old. So I actually kind of like this pretty decently. Yeah, pretty solid. Now, is this completely fluid? Oh yeah, it is. At a certain point, you want to stop this from happening. You want to create a max width container in the middle so that somebody, you know, I just think this is too spread out at this point. So confining it in the middle with a fixed width is most ideal. Also notice that this section right here is kind of hard to follow. There's no underlines right here in this table format, so it's kind of hard to create the association between these. So definitely think about that. I probably make these black. You can see they're dark gray to separate them from this type a little bit more. So there's a lot of things happening right here, but just a few things that should be improved. But most of what I see is actually pretty solid. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What do you all think? For me, I'm going to give this a rating of, it's going to be like 7.8, 7.9, 8. Very close to that. Very good. Next up. A web app project I'm working on. The background of your videos, intro is up, the one with the monitors, etc. All right. Let's continue. Yeah, those monitors and computers and stuff. I got a Commodore. I think Turkey is in the parity pricing program. You just have to visit the final step of the order form, the billing section, and you'll see a button to apply it. Alrighty, here's the design. So I think with the glass effect in the glows and the various things happening in the background, too much happening. You should really try to simplify this way much more. So we'll see if we can do that real quick. Ooh, my back, I'm an old man. I hurt my back in the gym a few weeks ago. It's getting better, but not 100%. All right. So here's the before. Here's what might be an after. I'm just gonna, let's ungroup this. I don't know what's happening with the layer structure here. What is happening? Why can't I? Ugh. Hold on. There's something crazy happening here with the layers, so it's a little bit frustrating. Okay. Let's bring this to the front. Whoa. Why is there two of those? Let's bring this to the front. That could be kind of cool, possibly. Although way too much of a difference here. So our fill, maybe we'll go like that. Maybe we'll just take, for the fun of it, a secondary. Now, there's some issues with your form design itself. So like the labels, right? Choose your currency below. Okay, so we should bump that up and increase the contrast to white. And left align that. So it should be choose your currencies. Choose currencies. You don't want too long of labels. These would need a lot more of my time to really fix this up in terms of the design. So I can't do too much right here. Notice how like these are text fields, I would imagine, but the button should always be styled differently, your call to action, than the other form elements, so that it's a clear distinction that this is how you submit the data. So like this, I'm gonna just get rid of that. I don't know what is happening here. There's so much crazy stuff. All right, fill, we could use your primary color. Again, I would want to restructure these, but I'm just doing a quick job here. I'm not sure why there's a date there. All right, so that's a really fast refactor. And just notice how much more simplified this area is compared to what's happening over here. I still don't like these glows, so I'm not sure what layer that these have been applied to. We got strokes here. Where is that glow coming from? It's not even showing up in the effects. It's like, what voodoo did you, I'm trying to find it. Where's it at? There it is. So background, drop, all right, so let's remove that. And you know what? Let's also take the stroke and just make it solid. And then we'll change the color like that. There we go. So notice how much more simplified this is. This compared to this. Way too much stuff happening here. All right. So hopefully that would help you out. More often than not, you know, beginners, I noticed in my mentor program at DesignCourse.com, when I'm reviewing stuff from new designers, they think they have to do a bunch of stuff, but that's not the case. You want to simplify. You don't want to, just because you have the knowledge to be able to create drop shadows, glass morphism, and all these other things, and strokes and stuff, and blurs. You shouldn't do that for very limited use cases those things have. So think more simple more often than not. So we're not going to bother with a rating for this one. Let's continue on for the next one. All right. Please review this too. Wait, did I already do a review for you? I just want to make sure I'm not like doing a double. Yep, I already did. I already did a review. One review per person, Mr. Yusuf. All right, next up. You literally just made it worse. All right. I'm sorry, but I know a large degree of design is subjective, but no, I objectively improved that big time. All right. What is this? Hold on a second. That was from W5. All right, so there's a lot of issues right here. You need to learn, you know, I'm not even gonna try to like improve this or talk about what can be improved. You need to start from scratch. Watch my Introduction to UI UX Review crash course in Figma that I did last month. It's the 2022 crash course, and you're going to learn about basic fundamentals of UI design, and it's going to go a long, massive way for if you just watch that free course. I'm not telling you have to sign up for DesignCourse, although that would definitely help. You would definitely improve just by watching that hour-and-a-half video or whatever it is, and just go back to the basics, especially for this hero section. I can see this is actually pretty decent. These cards are actually pretty decent. What's happening up here, though, is completely, just got to scrap that. Oh, Sub is the guy from that design. Oh, my. So, yeah. Hopefully you take that advice, and then maybe you can resubmit it next time. Next up is... All right, we have an old school splash screen where you require people to click this little thing in order to visit the actual website. All right, front-end developer based in Nepal, building your dreams. I'm gonna have a seizure, I think. I'm getting sick, motion sickness. Way too much happening here, I would say. If you're gonna keep this, make them low contrast polygons, these little rocks, like really low contrast to where you could barely even see them. And I can't scroll down, and this is basically it. So there's a big issue here just in the UX of this, because you're not giving me anywhere to click. So yeah, we have this up here, and you have a very strange thing. We have like about over here and then works way over here. They're separated from each other, your navigation. So that's strange. And so really, a lot of people to scroll down and see your work immediately. It's kind of a cool, I like the whole page transition animations that you've created. A lot of cool things happening here. This must be a work in progress because it just says project 1, obviously. Dummy text. Interesting things happening. But yeah, obviously it's unfinished. I'd like to see this when this is actually finished. Pretty cool front end working. Yeah, situations occurring here. Very cool. I'm not going to bother with a rating for this. It's just unfinished at this point. Next up. All right, next up, let's refresh. We had some initial animation. Alrighty. All right, so the sub headline right here, this description, way too small and also way too separated from each other with the white space between here and here. So I would want to rework this. This section is a little strange to me, whatever this is. Kind of like a lens flare thing happening here. Let's scroll down. Magic things, which we made. Again, type needs work. And this is really strange. Okay, so here's one of the issues, especially if you're going to use underlines only for text fields and text areas. It just looks like a massive amount of white space, and some people wouldn't even know where to click. So this completely needs revamped big time. Let me show you real quickly. If we take a look at the code, I'm off screen here. So border, 1 pixel solid, black. All right, so now we can kind of see that this is actually a text field. You want to revise this part big time. All right, we'll do a rating for this, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Let me know in the comments what y'all think this person deserves. Yeah, logo is quite small up here. I'm gonna have more white space around it as well. It's to position up here at the top. For me, I'm gonna give this a rating of, it's gonna probably be pretty low, like a 5.2 or something. It seems like people agree. All right, let's continue on. I don't want to skip people. We're going to do, a couple more here. All right, I would reduce the leading of the line height here. Fairly simple enough. All right, now I see there is an actual navigation, but it's so hidden because there's low contrast. Should be white at this point. And it's only 3 links. So this usually happens at least once per my reviews, my live streams, where somebody is unnecessarily using the hamburger menu on desktop. You only have 3 links. Therefore, you have all this space to have those 3 links. It would make much more sense to either put those 3 links here in a horizontal fashion, or you could put it right here as well. Just kind of right align it in this white container. So don't do that. Only use hamburger menus when you literally don't have enough width. And usually you see that on a cell phone or a smartphone because you don't have enough width to put a logo and the navigation. Now, you still might, on some of them, you might have enough width here to be able to put it there. But yeah, always try to use your space effectively. Good type here. What is that? Play fair display, common font pairing. This is probably Poppins as well. No, it's called, no. Well, we're using 3 different types here. Questrial, Playfair, and Poppins. They actually work well together, I would say. Pretty solid. Your photographer, you want to see a lot of actual work. Very solid. All right, the biggest issue was just this navigation here. So 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What do you think this person should get? I really like it. Roman Patel. My screen resolution is a 4K monitor. Most people have a 4K monitor resolution on desktop these days, and some people browse around sites with their their browser maximized or near maximized. So it's not fair to say that it's only bad because I have my browser large. You need to make sure it looks good at all sizes. All right, I'm gonna give this one, for what it is, like an 8. Very solid. All right, so let's do another one. All right, there's some type of interesting animation occurring here. All right, it's loading. All right, Jeet. This is one of those. I knew there was going to be a locomotive scroll here, smooth scroll. Definitely one of those more trendy designs you might see on a site like Awards. They love stuff like this. Very cool. Although a little pixelated here, not sure about that. Thank you, Easy. Okay, it looks like these are just completely repeating themselves. There's actually not that many. I wouldn't do that. I would have an end to that list just because you don't want people having to guess, you know, where things are going. I also don't like this overlapping text right here because obviously on this one, it just really clutters it up. I would simplify it a little bit more, put it up here, push down this section, and that way you have more room. You can probably make that smaller. Overall, pretty unique, modern approach here to a portfolio, though. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Yeah, that my DesignCourse light is custom. I had that made somewhere locally at a shop. It was like 250 bucks or something. All right, for me, technically, obviously, a lot of cool stuff. This might be something like 3JS or something. Where's my browser stack? GSAP's being used. All right, so for me, I'm going to give this probably just a flat out like 7.2. Definitely a lot of potential. All right, awesome. Awesome stuff. Now, chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably want to be a better designer. And if that's the case, how much do you really want it? Because at DesignCourse.com, I've created a UI UX course that will help you go from designing layouts that I might rate a 4 or 5 up to 8 and beyond. But more important than that, as a better designer, this means that you can land higher paying clients in jobs. This course includes over 16 hours of video, 40 interactive UI design tests, and even mentorship where I personally take a look at your work that you submit, I review it, and many times I also revise it, providing you with great feedback to help you become a better designer. Now, during this stream only, you can use the coupon code STREAM22 at checkout to get 22% off. Now, you better hurry up because at the end of this stream, I will deactivate this coupon. All right, let's get back to it. All right, everybody. So, definitely check out DesignCourse.com. That's going to be the end of our stream today. For about 10 more minutes, I'll leave that STREAM22 coupon available and active where you can join up. And if I didn't get to your actual review, make sure you hang out in idle in Discord and assign yourself the stream ping role. That's because before I do these streams, I go to the news channel and I mention the stream ping role right here. Usually about 30 minutes to an hour before the stream, and I tell everybody I'm going live in about an hour. Submit your design in negative space hyphen submissions. And then that way, once I do that, people hurry up and they start submitting, and then I take them in order. So if I didn't get to your review, hang out in Discord, assign the stream ping role, and then just usually on Fridays I do these in the morning. So keep an eye out for that. All right, everybody. All right, awesome stuff. By the way, Roman, just to mention, must look good on all sizes. There's a limit to size. You just said images look pixelated. What do you expect on a 4K screen? Will Google Lighthouse scores rank with such sizes? I don't know. Try some image compression or a little bit. Or instead of going full on full screen background, maybe condense them in when at a certain point. And that way you don't have to have such high resolution images. So I would experiment with that as well. All right, everybody. Good talking, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.